All right. It's time for games number 10, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see a huge matchup, okay? It's a huge matchup today. It's the baseball bats versus the Murray's frogs. 7-2 versus 8-1. We have to do another matchup here. And we're back. We were trying to get to our game of the day, which was going to be another bet on the bats and frogs. So let me get that set up here really fast before we get started. Frogs and bats are going to be our next big matchup of the day. Otherwise, across the league, we are going to be seeing some other big matchups. Andrew Alexander versus Sue McFarlane. That's going to be the Armadillos and Bears. Both of those squads are 5-4. A little bit over to the right of them is going to be the Ducks and Mythics. That's going to be Ezekiel Smith versus Brent Natwick. Yes, I'm buying time just in case the internet has more problems and you guys have chances to get your bets in. Do I have to bet bats because everyone else is betting frogs? Is that what I have to do now, folks? I have to always be the evener out of all of you? And should I do 47,000 is the other question. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. 47,000 caps on the bats. There we go. Now, if you guys get... Because, see, either way, I win. Either I get all of your caps, all of your delicious, lovely caps, or the frogs win and I win. Either way, I win now. See? That's corruption 101 for you. No. That's corruption 202. That's an advanced level, okay? Either way, I win. Either I win happy or I win sad. But either way, I win, okay? I win. Caps mean nothing to me. They are delicious. They are enjoyable. But they are a fleeting memory in the long, long history of the corrupt commissioner. Other games across the league, we have, of course, the Whistlers and the Goats. That's Jojo Kings versus Dixie McKenzie. We have the Coyotes versus the Giants. That's going to be Marquis Du Bois versus John Williams. Midsummer Owls. That's going to be, of course, against the Cluckers. Grace Tipton versus Fred Rogers over there. When do we get to start talking 400-level corruption courses? I want to graduate in 4 years. So here's the thing, Joker. You never know you're taking the 400 class of corruption until you find yourself in the level 400 corruption class. Okay? That's how good of corruption it is. You don't realize you're taking it until you're already, like, at least halfway through it. All right? It's kind of like, you know, the one thing that we never talk about. You know, the thing that no one is supposed to mention. Something about a movie title or something like that. The Rockets and the Kings, a big matchup behind us as well, too. That's a huge one out there. Reddit versus Roy Holiday. That's going to be a fun matchup as well. The Reapers versus the Cacti. That's Xavier Zicafoods versus Dominique Hoskins. And then across the way, of course, is the Warlocks and the Ninjas. That's going to be Lefty Cheese versus Montessa Sturgis. And then, of course, down below us, you guys can't see it that well, but right behind me now, officially, Queens and Pioneers. That's going to be a big battle between Nick Jai and Bubbles Sugar Socks. And then, of course, right behind me, oh, here's my left at this point, is the Choo Choo Trains versus the Captains. That is going to be Earl Abbott versus Sydney Weber. And the last game across the way, the Nobles. They need a win. They're 3-6. It's not going well for the Nobles now. Started off really, really well. It's not going well anymore. They're going to be up against the 4-1 Admirals. It's going to be Billy Douglas versus Jeremy Reynolds. So, with that all being done, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have got 11 minutes left to get your bets in between the Frogs and the Bats. Who do you think is going to win between the Frogs and the Bats? But otherwise, final RTS of the evening. Let's get it started, shall we? Final RTS. Rockets and Kings are going to be our first matchup, with the Reapers and Cacti also going at the same time. And Chico Pappas has given the Rockets a 1-0 lead on a solo homer. That's Pappas' first home run of the regular season. Congratulations to Pappas. We're going to go ahead and speed it on up here a little bit. I want to get to our big matchup of the days. we have a couple big matchups of the day. That Cacti Reapers game is actually really big as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one really fast. Give you guys a chance to be able to see what these games look like. Again, this is the 6-3 Cacti versus the 4-4 Reapers. 4-4-1 Reapers, by the way. Stephanie Morgan has given the Cacti a 1-0 lead, and then I believe a double by Bryce Utley gives them a 2-0 lead. Reapers come back in the top of the second, get a run of their own. That's going to be a John Doe single scoring in Brett. And now we're up to a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the second we go. 10,000 caps from Schnee on the bats. Okay, well, me and Schnee are going bats in this ball game. Okay, interesting. Good to know we have the same mind, though. All right, runner on second, and Pablo Sanchez lines out. Billy McBaron has doubled home a run, and Vicky Kawaguchi singled home McBaron. The Kings now lead 2-1 against the Rockets. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the bottom of the third, my apologies, and a double by Bryce Utley has scored home 2 runs, and the Cacti now lead 4-1. The Cacti have been really good this season, like really good. 6-3 on the season so far, and the Cacti in the bottom of the fourth have a 4-1 lead, and they will head to the top of the fifth. 4-1 is the game here. 2-1 is the score between the Kings and the Rockets. Reddit has struck out 9 batters in 5 innings for the Rockets, I believe. As they go to the top of the 6th inning, it's still 2-1 over there, and it's still 4-1 over here. Not a whole lot has happened between these two ball clubs as we enter into the top of the 6th for both squads. Reddit doing well. The Reapers are not able to get anything after getting a runner on base, and they'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Run scored here for the Warlocks. That's Bradford Smart. The Pioneers have taken a 1-0 lead against the Queens, a Jerry Santillan solo homer. Colby Joe doubles home a run for the Kings. They now lead 3-1. Reddit has struck out 13 batters, but he is looking at a now officially tie ball game as the Rockets have gotten 5. Wow, they've gotten 4 runs in the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th we went, and the Rockets score 4 runs off of the starter. Is it the starter of the Kings? Hold on, I have to know about this one now. How did they get to this pitcher? Roy Halladay got replaced. Hasselhoff blew the save. It was 2 unearned runs, though, and it will be... Oh, man, we missed out. I am so sorry, folks. We missed out on a Pablo Sanchez grand slam. You know what? I think... Can I do this? Can I do this? Folks? No, I can't. Oh, fine. I was hoping I might be able to, like, actually pop into the ball game and replay the last play. I was hoping I could do that, but Pablo Sanchez hits a grand slam, and that gives the Reapers now officially a 6-4 lead against the Cacti. Huge turn of events for the Cacti. They were having that 4-1 lead, and now they absolutely are in the hole 6-4. That's the right response there, Qui-Gon Jake. There you go. D. Fernandez singles home 2 runs for the Ninjas. They now lead 2-1 against the Warlocks. The Ninjas need this win. Like, really need this win. The Ninjas really need it. Gary Allen hits a solo homer for the Ninjas. They now lead 3-1. Now Hebert hits a solo homer for the Warlocks. And Ken Griffey Jr. hits a grand slam. Number 5 of the season for Ken Griffey Jr. They now lead 9-3. That's the Rockets over the Kings. 4-3 is the score between the Warlocks and the Ninjas. That's a big game right there for the Warlocks and Ninjas. Oh, hold on one second. It is officially time to put Finley down for bed. All right, let's get you guys updated, and then we'll take a quick little 3-minute ad break. This is perfectly time for the internet to go down while I'm doing the ad break, but that's okay. Let's get you guys updated here really fast. Ken Griffey Jr. hits a grand slam for the Rockets, 9-3. Timmy Unger hits a 2-run homer for the Warlocks. They now lead 4-3 against the Ninjas. And Ashley Weber hits a 2-run homer for the Pioneers. They now lead against the Queens, 3-0. So it is, yes, this is official now. It is time for bed for him. It is. Let's continue on in our baseball games. Belladonna Brown has singled for the Warlocks. That drives in a run. They now lead 5-3 against the Ninjas. Chris Jardine gives a run to the Queens. They now have a 2-run deficit in the top of the 4th. Here between the Rockets and the Ninjas, it's still a 9-3 ball game, and it is going to end as a 9-3 ball game. The Cacti are down to their final out. Really? Wow. The Cacti have lost 6-4, and the Kings have lost 9-3. Those are both upsets. Those are both major upsets. The Reapers have won, and the Cacti have lost. The Rockets have won. They're back into a tie for first place. And who lost again to the Rockets? Was that the Kings? Kings fall out of first place, and the other game was the... Oh, gosh, who was the other game at this point? The other one was... Oh, I should know this. Kings have fallen, and the Cacti. That's right. Kings and Cacti both take the loss. Rockets and Reapers get the wins, and they move up into second and first place. So congratulations to those performers right now. And then, yes, we do have officially Pioneers and I believe Queens going at it right now, but it's not Abinduct versus Cas Cappy. It is officially, I think it was Nick Jai versus, oh gosh, I should know who the person was for the other organization, but I don't remember now, unfortunately. Sugar Sox versus Jai. Thank you, Schnee. Yeah, that's going to be a good game regardless. 4-2 is the score over there. Claudia Vallarta has hit a solo homer for the Pioneers. They now lead 4-2. Alrighty, we've got a 5-3 ball game between the Warlocks and the Ninjas. Again, a 4-2, now 6-2 game in favor of the Pioneers, as Ricky Henderson has doubled home, Sigund, and Cumberbatch. We have the beginning games between the Armadillos and the Bears. That's going to be a big matchup over there. And then the Trains and Captains have already started off. And the Trains have gotten a wild pitch scoring a run. The Queens are looking to tie up the ball game if they can get around to it. They have another grand slam. Not for the Queens, unfortunately. The Queens do get 2 runs on a sacrifice fly both times, and they will score 2 runs, but it'll be a 6-4 deficit so far as they head to the bottom of the 5th. However, in the top of the 1st, Lindsay Felgate hits a grand slam off of Sydney Weber. The Trains have the 3rd grand slam of the evening. They now lead 5-0. Ducks take a 1-0 lead over the Mythics. That's a Juan Barrios solo homer over there. And we'll go ahead and let the games continue on as we get more and more. So the Trains are looking to take over the first place position potentially if they can get some more wins here. Ted Williams has given the Whistlers a 1-0 lead. Chris Jardine has given the Queens a 1-run deficit. Those are both solo homers over there. And then the Whistlers tacked on 3 more runs, and it's going to be a 4-0 lead for the Whistlers. Belladonna Brown hits a sacrifice fly for the Warlocks. They now lead 6-3 in that ball game. And then the Coyotes and Giants, it's 1-0 as Will Hunt hits a solo home run. Wow. Jody Weed has hit a 2-run homer, number 7 of the regular season. How many walks? That was 2 walks for Weber. She hit a batsman, had a wild pitch, 2 walks, 39 pitches to get through the top of the 1st for the Captains. That is not a good sign. All right, we should be good. We should be back. Just a little blip in the radar for our slideshow mode, basically. So yeah, Jody Weed gives a 2-run homer for the Mythics. They now lead 2-1 against the Ducks in that matchup. The Ducks, again, just cannot figure out how to win ball games. A wild pitch has scored a run for the Queens. They now have a tie ball game against the Pioneers. Tie ball game over there. We'll see if anybody else wants to tie up their ball games. The Goats have gotten the first run of their game against the Whistlers. They were down 4-0. Now they're down 4-2 after a fielder's choice and a single has scored 2 runs. Estevan Verl has given the Armadillos a 2-0 lead, and Faye Dawson has given the Coyotes a 2-0 lead. Make that 3-0. Jawan Jones hit the solo homer. Make that 5-0. Jessica Wasarsis hit the 2-run homer. The Armadillos take a 3-0, make that 4-0. 4-0 lead for the Armadillos over the Bears. It's going to be a double and a single, scoring in runs as well. So some big offenses already coming through for different organizations at this point. Little Timmy Unger hits home run number 3 of the regular season, homer number 2 of the ball game, and the Warlocks now have an 8-3 lead. Adam Van Doren singles home McPoley, and that gives the Trains a 6-0 lead. And then Jim O'Roney has given the Bears their first run of the ball game. They are now down 4-1. Craig Biggio hits a solo homer for the Ninjas. They're now down 8-4 in that ball game against the Warlocks. Faye Dawson has doubled home a run. That's Mike Trout being scored. Coyotes lead 6-0. And they might lead by more here in a second. D. Dempsey has singled home Lena Inge. And the Captains get their first run of the ball game. Bradford Smart hits a double, scoring in 2 runs. He has 4 hits in the ball game. And the Warlocks now lead 10-4. Fluffy Pillow Pants has hit a solo homer for the Nobles. They now lead 1-0 against the Admirals in the top of the first. Couple of big ball games out there still happening. We've got our big one between the Queens and the Pioneers. They're into the top of the 9th. Now they're into the bottom of the 9th. It is still tied 6-6 over there. Adam Romanade. No, sorry. Let's start at the beginning there. Yuri Oste singles home a run. That scores Killebrew. Nobles lead 2-0. Yep, and Elizabeth Cappy is on the mound for the Queens, trying to hold this game to a tie. Beamer Bird has singled home a run for the Mythics. They now lead 3-1 against the Ducks. The Trains now lead 7-1 on a single by Roman Ade. And then Crazy Legumes has a fielder's choice, scoring in Miranda. Curtis Moses singles home a run. Roland McPoley singles home a run. Lisbeth Cappy. 1, 2, 3. Lisbeth Cappy doing the best that she can do, gets it to the top of the 10th. The Queens will have a final-ditch effort here in the top of the 10th to score a run or more. So we have an 8-1 lead for the Trains, 4-1 lead for the Mythics, 5-1 lead for the Armadillos against the Captains, Ducks, and Bears. Big game upsets potentially there for the Ducks. Oh, no, not for the Ducks, but for the Bears at least. That would be a big upset. Can the Queens get anything here in the top of the 10th? And the answer is no. Oh boy. Well, the Queens can only hope for a tie now. It's not looking good. Bully McGuire has hit a 2-run homer for the Bears. It's now 5-3. The Trains now lead 8-1, and the Coyotes now lead against the Giants 8-0. Some big scoring action across the boards for both of those two teams. Fielder's choice puts the runners on second, on first and third after the intentional walk of Ricky Henderson. Elizabeth Cappy just needs to try to keep the game going. You gotta try. Just do your best at this point. Stealing second is Santillan, as Base Fun Balls has hit a 2-run homer for the Armadillos. That puts that game, I believe, out of reach for the Bears. It's now officially a 4-run ball game between the Armadillos and the Bears. That one looks like it's going to be shutting down here pretty soon. The Queens just need 2 outs. Can they get it? Ashley Weber is going to be retired, and I believe on a ground out, Marcellus Marks is intentionally walked. It's all going to be down to Knuckle Tech. You might win without Lemons on the mound. Wow. Okay. We can't fault Lisbeth Cappy for this one. You cannot fault Lisbeth Cappy for the rest of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Lisbeth Cappy was able to hold it together. 3 scoreless innings, hitless innings, by the way, too. 2 walks, 5 Ks. Lisbeth keeps the Queens in a tie. Wow. I don't think there's many relief pitchers that can do what Lisbeth Cappy just did. Not that I'm trying to butter up Kaz Cappy with that statement, but there are only a few, like a handful of really good relievers that can take a bottom of the 10th. Runner on second is the goal with just a walk-off, singles all you need, and retire enough people to get out of it in a tie. The Queens will go 3-5-2. That keeps them only 2.5 games, or maybe 3 games. We'll see how it goes against. But that's a huge tie. That's a huge tie against the Pioneers. They were the top tier team in the league. That keeps first place as 6-3-1 instead of 7-2, or instead of 7-3. So that's a huge tie. That is a huge tie, actually, for them at this point. Wow. All right. Outside of that, we've got a couple of games into the later stages at this point. The Armadillos have gotten another run on a box, scoring in Verl. The Owls have gotten their first run against the Cluckers with Jacinda Smith single scoring in Sonia Hagen. And the Goats have gotten a run on a triple by Emily Lubell. Homers galore. The Captains have scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They're now down 8-4 against the Trains. That's a D. Dempsey homer. That's number 6 of the season for D. Dempsey and number 6 of the season for Captain Kegleg. And then Harmon Killebrew has given the Nobles a 3-0 lead on a solo homer, and that has given the Nobles, again, that 3-0 lead over the Admirals in the top of the 3rd. Couple of games into the 6th innings. A runner on second and 0 outs is about 80% of the scoring. Yes, it's pretty much a guarantee you're scoring 1 run. So that's a bigger missed win for the Pioneers than the Queens. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. Dante Robinson ties up the ball game between the Cluckers and the Owls on a ground out. Ted Williams has given the Whistlers a 5-3 lead against the Goats. That's a solo homer in the top of the 6th. And then the Mythics have broken the game wide open against the Ducks. It's now 8-1 after a double cleared the bases and Mason Griffith scored the one who doubled. And again, 8-1 is the score over there. Pete Wheeler triples home 2 runs for the Admirals. They're now down 3-2 and with a chance to score in some more runs. We'll see if they can do it. Ernie Banks has doubled home a run for the Bears. They're now down 8-4 against the Armadillos. Again, though, that's a tough one. I still think they're going to lose that ball game. Randy Fast Track has singled home a run for the Whistlers. It's now 6-3 over there in that ball game. A lot of close-ish ball games, but we still have our offensive teams going at it. They're still doing a pretty good job. Top of the 9th, we go for the Armadillos and Bears. We'll be going to the bottom of the 9th here in a second, and we'll see if the Bears can do anything about a 4-run deficit. That would be a big loss for the Bears. They should be taking down a lot of these teams, and they are having an interesting season, to say the least. Paul Wiesen has singled home Dante Robinson, and the Cluckers now have a 2-1 lead against the Owls. That's a game the Cluckers need to win. That's a game you need to win. Need to win. Chris Moses hits a sacrifice fly, scoring in Susan Gore. The Mythics now lead 9-1 against the Ducks. And the Bears are retired. Andrew Alexander is able to get his first win of the season. It's almost a quality start. Almost a quality start. Okay, sorry, no. Technically, it is a quality start. I do believe they consider it based off of earned runs, not unearned runs. So it is, in my opinion, a quality start for Alexander. Great day for him. Good day for Base Von Balls and Estevan Verl. They both knock in 2 runs apiece. They take down a very talented Bears club, and they move to 6-4 at the 10-game mark. That is actually impressive. We did not have the biggest hopes for the Armadillos. I think we still considered them a borderline playoffs club. So I think we did actually expect them to at least be over 500 by the end of the season, but they are actually impressing me right now. They are actually impressing me, which is a good sign. All right, we go to the top of the 9th, the final chance here for the Ducks against the Mythics. The Ducks are just not looking like themselves. Ducks are down to their final 2 outs. Down to their final out. And the Ducks are going to have a runner on. It's going to be Herman getting on base, but that's going to be it. That game is over. The Ducks lose again. 9-1 this time against the Mythics. The Ducks are now 2-8. It is not going well for one of the better offensive teams in the league. That is A really big shame. Wow. Crash Davis has doubled home run for the Cluckers. They now lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. The Whistlers now lead 10-3 after a Lisa Crockett double. And Bruce Springsteen gave the Coyotes their 9th run of the ball game against the Giants. They're just destroying the Giants over there. We're going into the top of the 9th between the Coyotes and the Giants, and top of the 8th for the Whistlers and the Goats. And Randy Fast Track gets into a double play but scores a run. Whistlers now lead 11-3. Cinnamon Roll starts off the ball game between the Bats and the Frogs with a solo home run. This is our bet game of the day, by the way, folks. And the Frogs are immediately in a 1-0 hole. Tommy Shanks has doubled home a run for the Nobles. They now lead 4-2 against the Admirals. And we're going into the closing period between a couple of these ball clubs. Oop, here we go again. Wade Beers hits solo homer in the ball game, number 1 of the game, number 6 of the regular season, and he's starting to catch on fire. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wade Beers is starting to get a little hot, folks. He hits a solo homer in the top of the 1st. And they're still trying to get out of the top of the 1st. Mike Piazza has hit a solo homer. Bats now lead 3-0. The Giants have gotten their first run on a solo homer by you, down with OBP. Oh, man. Down with OBP, number 5 on the regular season now. That gives the Giants a 9-1 deficit as they're down to their final 2 outs. Captains are down to their final out as well. Multiple games are about to finish. The Frogs do respond with a run of their own in the bottom of the 1st. That's a Hughes on first double, scoring in Murray. Frogs now trail 3-1. The Trains take down the Captains 8-4. Winner goes to Abbott, loss goes to Weber. And then Mike Trout stole his 150th stolen base. Not for BYP statistics, unfortunately. But the Coyotes take down the Giants 9-1. We're about to head to the bottom of the 9th between the Goats and Whistlers. The Whistlers, though, have the bases loaded. They're just destroying the Goats tonight. Woodrow has doubled home a run for the Nobles. They now lead 5-2. Lorelai Ikaye has driven in 2 runs for the Whistlers. They now lead 13-3 as they head to the bottom of the 9th. And Maya Woodruff has given the Cluckers a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th. They're going to the top of the 9th, and the Owls are down to their final 3 outs. So this is going to be interesting. A couple games that are already getting close to their final finishing touches here, basically. Cluckers might have actually have a chance here to win 2 out of 3 ball games. PJ Sharif hits a solo homer for the Admirals. Wade Beers hits another solo homer, his 2nd of the ball game, and the Bats now lead 4-1. Wade Beers now has 7. We are down to the final 2 outs for the Owls against the Cluckers. Jane Flowers going for another save, I believe. Hey, there we go. Boom, 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 McBroom hits solo homer number 1 of the ball game, homer number 5 of the regular season, and the Bats now have a 5-1 lead. The Bats are coming to play tonight. All right, can the Owls get anything started against the Cluckers? The answer is going to be no. Cluckers take another victory. This time it is the pitching game coming through. Finally, 4-1 is the final score, and the Cluckers are going to be technically 2-for-1 in their last 3 games. They're now 3-7. They're still a far ways off from 500, but it is at least starting to look like the Cluckers we were expecting to see a little bit. It's better. And with that, we are down to our final 2 ball games of the evening. It's a couple of fan favorites. Fan favorite games across the boards. It's going to be the Nobles and the Admirals and the Bats and the Frogs. Let's see what we can do. Nobles, Nobles retired in the top of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Chance here for the Admirals now. Shadow Bands comes in to close out the ball game for the Nobles. Let's see if he can do that without any problems. 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3. Single for Billie Jean Blackwood, but cash considerations is retired. The Bats got another hit, but they were not able to drive the run home after it's in scoring position. We'll go to the top of the 9th now for the Nobles and Admirals. Bottom of the 4th for the Frogs and the Bats. Harmon Killebrew has hit his second homer of the ball game, another solo shot. And the Nobles now lead 6-3 against the Admirals as they go to the bottom of the 9th. Final opportunity here for the Admirals. 2 down. It'll be all down to Stuart Sullivan. And Sullivan is retired. The Nobles have a big win against the Admirals to get their first win in a while. They take down the Admirals 6-3. And all of our attention turns to the Bats and the Frogs. Julie Beck has hit a 2-run homer off of Nancy Chin, and a double by Luann Louie has given the Frogs 3 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. That is all they will get, though. It'll be a 1-run ball game as Finley Finster goes back out on the mound. He's given up some long balls, unfortunately, but he has a game on his hands as it's a 5-4 score. 5-4 is the ball game. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Nancy Chin has Chuck Norris to start it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He will ground out. Espinoza grounds out. Padilla strikes out swinging. We'll go to the top of the 7th. How long can Finley Finster go? 6 innings is going to be the answer. Don Cozart comes into pitch, and we have runners on first and second immediately. Oh, boy. Double play, though, for Hank Aaron, and it's going to be all down to Wade Beers, who strikes out swinging against Don Cozart. Bottom of the 7th, Nancy Chin still pitching. Ichiro Suzuki has doubled. Chance for the Frogs here. Beck flies out. Bases loaded, and basically a full count pitch for Murray, and he will pop out. So 5-4 is still the score. We go to the top of the 8th. Finley Murray is in to pitch here now in the top of the 8th. They want to keep this game at a 1-run game. They caught Mike Piazza trying to steal. That, I think that had to have been a pickoff. I don't think that's a caught. That had been a pickoff about there. Luann Louie grounds out. He was on first, strikes out swinging, and Chuck Norris in the bottom of the 8th reaches on an error. It'll be all down to Juan Espinoza against Nancy Chin. Full count pitch. Espinoza walks, but Danny Padilla lines out. We go to the 9th inning. It's a 5-4 ball game. Bats are in the lead. Let's see what they can do. Kahn strikes out. We are down to the final 3 outs of the ball game. It's going to come down. Nancy Chin's going for the complete game? Okay, this we have to watch now. I got to watch this. The Frogs in the bottom of the 9th are going to have Adelbert Crittenden, Ichiro Suzuki, and Julia Beck against Nancy Chin. Both of these ball clubs have very adequate batters. Let's see how it goes. Nancy Chin is up to 101 pitches. She's actually doing pretty well for the game, which is kind of weird to say that. 8 innings, 4 earned runs on 7 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Nancy Chin looks in for the sign against Adelbert Crittenden. The second baseman, switch hitter for the Frogs, is going to have a 1-2 pitch on the way. Swings and misses, strike 3. Huge strikeout there to start off the inning for Nancy Chin. Let's see if they take her out of the ball game, and they're not going to. Ichiro Suzuki is the next batter. He bats from the left side. He's got 9 RBIs on the season, but no home runs. He is not a power hitter. Nancy Chin up to 105 pitches now for the ball game, and a 1-1 pitch on the way. Up the middle, past the diving shortstop, and into center field it goes. The Frogs get the first runner of the inning. It's going to be Suzuki Jr., and that'll bring up Julie Beck. Julie already has a 2-run homer in the ball game. I'm in the wrong position for the screen. Hold on. They should be going to the pen, but they are not. I don't know why. I mean, you have Dobbs, you've got Miller. I don't know what the point of having... I mean, Nancy Chin is good. She's not a bad pitcher, but you should be going to the pen here. Julie Beck. We're going to go pitch by pitch for this one, actually. Julie Beck, runner on first base. It's Ichiro Suzuki. A double play would end the ball game. And this is a ground ball type pitcher. First pitch. Smacked past the first baseman, but foul. Boom Boom could only watch and hope it was foul, and it was just foul. Julie Beck looks out to the pitcher's mound. Nancy Chin, the knuckleball pitcher, looks in for the sign. Suzuki Jr. takes his lead. The hold is very good, even though the arm of Mike Piazza is not that good. 0-1, pitch is low. Ball 1, evens up the count. This is a huge win for either of these ball clubs. This is a big game for them. Even though it's their number 2 starting pitchers, this is still a very, very intense game. Runner on first base takes their lead. Julie Beck looks out to the pitcher's mound. The 1-1 offering. Outside, ball 2. The knuckleball, not quite there. Yeah, you should have gone to the pen. You should have gone to the pen, Bats. 2-1 pitch coming in to Julie Beck, the catcher of the Frogs. And here it comes. That one looks pretty good, but it's called a ball. It was actually off the plate by a good, decent amount, and it will be ball 3. Julie Beck, big batter's pitch right here against Nancy Chin. Suzuki Jr. takes his lead, and the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Beautiful knuckleball just above the knees against Julie Beck, and she couldn't make contact. Might have thought that maybe the changeup was going to come for a better chance at a strike, but a great knuckleball from Nancy Chin will make it a full count pitch. Huge pitch right here from Nancy Chin. You've got Alex Murray, yours truly, on deck. Luann Louis Hughes on first. Chuck Norris behind them. You don't want to put Julie Beck on base for free. Full count pitch on the way to Beck from Nancy Chin. And the offering is called strike 3. A beautiful knuckleball from Nancy Chin gets Julie Beck looking, and that's a huge second out of the ball game. All right, now they take out Nancy Chin. Now they take out Nancy Chin. Runner on first base, 2 down. Alex Murray comes up to the plate. Good bunter. We'll see if that means anything, though. Jaden Miller is going to be the new pitcher here for the Bats as Nancy Chin's evening is done. Jaden Miller's been a very good pitcher for the Bats. He's got 1 save, 1 win in 5 appearances. And yeah, it's the top of the order, so you expect Nancy Chin to maybe get through the bottom of the order, and then you switch out for Jaden Miller early on. But you could have gone to Jaden also just to start off the inning and make sure you don't give up a hit to Suzuki Jr. and get here in the first place. It could be that way too. Jaden Miller going to have to face off against Alex Murray, and hopefully that is going to be it because you don't want to get past him. Runner on first base, 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Final opportunity for the Frogs, and the first pitch on the way. And they're going to pick off the runner at first base, but back is Suzuki Jr. That is always very scary. It's always very scary when OTP does a pickoff. It's like, did they get him? Ichiro Suzuki Jr. is back in time. Jaden Miller looks back in for the sign, checks the runner. His hold is terrible, by the way. They might try to run. First pitch on the way. No run as they check the runner at first. That one's going to miss low, ball 1. 1-0 now is the count. Alex Murray took the first pitch. It was just, wow, that was a good pitch too. Wow. That's a strike, guys. That's a strike. Alex Murray's going to have a 1-0 count on his way, though. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Ichiro Suzuki Jr. takes his lead. They're going to pick off again over at first base just to make him get back. And they'll look back in for the sign. So they don't want Suzuki Jr. running into scoring position. That'd be the last thing they want to have happen right here. Alex Murray looks out to the pitcher's mound. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game, has 3 RBIs in the season, 9 hits. Ron Kolpa in the BYP too, I see. Yes, exactly. 1-0 pitch on the way. That one's too far down low for ball 2. Wow. Okay, I know it's me batting, but still, you don't have to make it that obvious, game. You do not have to make it that obvious. Another pitch that is pretty clearly a strike. And I'm not sure if the umpire is just expecting the runner to go and is kind of not paying attention as much, or if he's just hoping that we get further on. But yeah, some serious levels of corruption in this at bat right here. 2-0 is the count on back-to-back pitches that pretty much should have been called strikes. Mike Piazza is either too worried about the runner not framing well. Miller might be a little bit too concerned. Everyone's watching Suzuki Jr. No one's watching the ball cross home plate, I guess. 2-0 is the count against yours truly. Runner on first base, 2 down. And the 2-0 pitch. Foul to the plate. We'll do it again with a 2-1 count. Alex Murray now has still a batter's count, 2-1. That one was a ball, and he swung. I don't know why. Could have been 3-0, and Luann Louie looking to get on to the batter's box with runners on first and second, but we'll have a 2-1 count instead. Alex Murray looks out for the next pitch. Jaden Miller comes in. He's set in the stretch position. And the 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Down the right field line. It's going to be foul, though. It's going to even up the count. We'll have a 2-2 pitch on the way. Jaden Miller looking to retire Alex Murray. Get out of the ball game. Give the Bats a 5-4 win. It'd be a big win for them. They scored all 5 of their runs in the first 3 innings. Culpa thinks the automated strike zone was implemented. He's not actually calling them balls, just not doing anything, and the scorer is making them a ball. Yeah, the scorer is just like, ball? And Culpa's just like, I think so. I mean, nothing happens, so it's a ball, right? All right, Alex Murray, 2-2 pitch on the way from Jaden Miller. The runner takes the lead at first base. Miller from the stretch and the delivery. Up and in, that's going to be a ball. It's going to be a full count. That one was a little bit off the plate, unfortunately, so that's going to be ball 3. It's going to be a full count pitch to Alex Murray. The runner will go on the pitch now officially, so a single might score the runner unless it goes to hammer long ball in right field. Oh boy, it's going to get interesting. Alex Murray looks out to the pitcher's mound. Jaden Miller looks in for the sign. From the stretch, the full count pitch to Alex Murray. Suzuki Jr. is going to go off on the pitch. The hit out to right field. It's going to fall for a single. Around second, heading for third is Ichiro Suzuki Jr. He will hold there, and it'll be bases on for runners on first and third, and 2 down. The Frogs are threatening here in the bottom of the 9th. First and third, 2 down, and you cannot put Luann Louie on the base paths, and you cannot walk her. She is going to put the ball in play. She has very good contact. She has very good speed. Alex Murray is also potentially going to be running on this at bat. Maybe this is a really bad opportunity to get caught stealing as well, but at the same time, I feel like you have to. Luann Louie against Jaden Miller. Righty against righty. This is Miller's preferred situation here, though. He'd prefer to go against a righty, but you do not want to go against Hughes on first. Runner on first and third. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Jaden Miller looks in for the sign from the stretch. And the first pitch on the way to Luann Louie. That's low. Alex Murray runs on the pitch. He's in there, and it's a ball. Second and third now officially as Murray seals his 18th bag of the season. It was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. Everybody saw it coming. And Murray wasted no time getting into second. That's not rigged. You've got a hold of 37 and a throwing arm of 46. Anybody could have done that, okay? Anybody could have stolen off of Jaden Miller right there. All right. Yes, please do a raffle as well. Break open the chat here a little bit. If you want to do another raffle here, Qui-Gon Jake, go ahead and do that really fast. Probably even Beers. Even Beers could have stolen against that. Yes, exactly. Exclamation mark, join everybody in the channel. Final raffle of the evening. This will be our final one before we end our stream as Luann Louie has a 1-0 pitch on the way here now. Falling asleep here, but fun note, base fun balls tonight in 10 games matched last year's 5 home runs and 12 RBIs over 30 games from last season. Nicely done, EVC. Nicely done. Yeah, it's been a good season for EVC. It's been a good season for base fun balls. All right, Jaden Miller. 1-0 pitch, doesn't have to worry about the runners as much now, and he has to worry about the oh wow, also look at that pitch location. Again, the umpire, I mean, we're just now calling anything we want a ball, aren't we at this point? That was clearly a strike. Clearly a strike. Luann Louie, runners on second and third. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Tying run is 90 feet from home plate. Runner on second is the walk-off. Walk-off run. If they can get a single, they could score Alex Murray. Luann Louie, 1-0 pitch on the way. Ground ball to third base. Wade Beers picks it up, fires to first. They will get Luann Louie on the throw. The Bats take down the Frogs 5-4. Huge play by Wade Beers. The ball was hit just hard enough for Wade Beers to be able to field it cleanly. Had to make the off-balance throw. Louis was hustling down the line, but they do get the play. And the Bats do take the win. 5-4 is the final. Huge win for the Bats and not a bad loss for the Frogs. I will be the first person to say that that is a respectable loss for the Frogs. But what's worse is that everybody who betted on the Bats are going to be in a much better position, which is basically how yours truly now has 52,000 caps. So I have to burn all these caps on something on Friday. Good grief. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our final games of the day. That is it. We will advance ourselves up to the next ball games of the season. These are your regular season results. The Whistlers are now 9-1. 9-1 are the Whistlers. The Bats and Frogs are tied at 8-2. The Armadillos have taken over fourth place, or third place, fourth place technically. 6-4 is their record, and then 5-4-1 are the Mythics. 5-5 are the Bears. 4-6 are the Coyotes and Giants, and then the Owls are 3-6-1. The Cluckers are now officially 3-7, with the Ducks on a 5-game losing streak, 2-8, and the Goats on a 4-game losing streak. They are now 2-8 as well. In the Sunny Day League, as I'm on the wrong screen here, hold on. There we go. For the Sunny Day League, we're going to have the Oregon Pioneers and the Rockets both 6-3-1. So those ties coming in to hurt those squads maybe here. But the Cacti are 6-4. The Kings are 5-4-1, tied with the Warlocks and the Reapers at 5-4-1. The Choo Choo Trains are 5-5. The Admirals are 4-5-1. The Captains are 4-6, tied with the Nobles at that position. And then, of course, the Queens 3-5-2 on the regular season, and the Beverly Hills Ninjas are 3-7. So very close matchups in the STL, even with some of the teams starting to kind of pull away. Some good swings from the Reapers and the Warlocks. The Trains are starting to get on track once again. You see what I did right there. But the massive difference in how good these different sub-leagues are. The AZAxle League is very hit or miss. You've got teams who have only won 2 games and a team that's only lost 1 game. And then you have the other side, which is basically you're close to 500. You're not really getting much distance ahead of anyone else. The last place team is 3.5 games out of first place versus the AZAxle League, where the last place teams are 7 games out. It's not looking good for the Ducks and the Goats. I would probably give them 5 or 6 more ball games, and if they don't go at least 500 in those next 6 ball games, I think their season's done.